All right, good morning. So what we are going to be doing today, we've gone over the scientific method. We've had notes on that, we had some labs on that, we've had some practice with that, quizzes on that, and some of you still, on the semester exam, didn't get full marks on that question. And you know you're going to have a question like that on your ACE test. So I gave you a little bit of reading to do over the weekend. Not sure if you did it or not, but take a look at the prompt that I just gave you. This is set up just like an ACE question, right? So reticulotermes flapides, do you know what that is? Don't know for sure, it's a termite. But remember, they're going to throw something on there, don't let that throw you off. Common insect found throughout the eastern United States. As a social insect, it tends to follow trails used by members of the colony. Researchers have put forward the following hypothesis. R. flapides follows blue-colored trails more than other colored trails. So you will outline a laboratory-based experiment that the researchers could carry out to investigate whether R. flapides does follow blue-colored trails better. Your answer should include reference to the control of variables and the collection of quantitative results. You've seen this type of question before, right? You're going to see it again in April. So, on the front side, what you're going to do, just like if this were an ACE question on a test, in blue or black ink, you're going to write out your response, what you would do for the experiment. I want you to do that later though, okay? I don't want you to do that as the start. We'll have time to finish that up. Because we only have a short time to do the lab part, we can come back and finish this up. On the back side, what I want you to do, you can kind of sketch out what you want to do for your experiment. I have paper, I have pens, hand lenses, rulers, scissors, and then I have up here some termites. So the termites are really delicate. Like if you try to grab them with your fingers, you'll probably squish them. So to get them out, there's probably about 10 in each container. You're going to have, probably I'm assuming you're going to have something on the paper, some colors or something. You can kind of put one or two at a time on there. And what I tried this with one of the other classes, what I found was you have a little piece of paper, you kind of scoop them along to put them. If you try to grab them with your fingers, like I said, this is going to squish them. So be careful with the termites. What would happen if the termites got loose? What would happen if the termites got loose? Francois, they would die. Would they make a colony and eat our school? Why not? Okay, if there's no queen, the colony can't get started, so, but we still just don't want to, we're going to keep them in the container if we can, unless you're actually testing them. So here's the plan. You're going to have 35 minutes to run your experiment. You need to have a data table. Remember, it says quantifiable results. You need to find something that you're generating numbers from. The hypothesis was to follow blue. So you figure out how you want to test that with your group. After 35 minutes, I'll give you a little warning. I think that you should compare your results with what other people got, and then we'll meet together and have a little talk. Like I said, save the front side until afterwards. We'll have time to do that. The important thing now is to get your experiment run and generate your data. Any questions on that? All right, let's go.
Okay, so if I make like the data right here, do you need like a separate piece of paper to draw like the different color lines?
I didn't put the lids on tight so that they can breathe. Francois, I didn't put the lids on tight so that they can breathe. Yeah. I don't know. It's your experiment.
Isabella, I got it.
I'm your height on the chair.
I'm going to have cut it into three because okay, you got about 10 minutes. Well, you could run him more than one time. Each time would be a trial. No, there's not. These are the worker termites, so they shouldn't bite.
Whatever you like, a different one.
It's your experiment. What do you think? So you set it up as like versus
Like, yeah, we're gonna give them 3 different.
I would say one issue is that these are bunched together.
So like, we're gonna make it more dry.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, like we're gonna.
Oh, all right. And what are you going to be measuring? Counting.
Okay, so we have like some sort of like this here. Well, we just do something that has like
Sometimes the termites will get up under the paper towel. So if you can't find your termites, let me know. But they're probably at the bottom or under the paper towel because they like to stay a little bit moist. So what do you want to do?
But like, you want to like give them like a big amount of space between each other.
like all of
Yeah.
So we'll make like, so we'll do one line like each color going out.
Oh no.
It's your experiment.
No, different colors. You should make the blue thinner to see if the hot pops is strong.
That's not
Not worry about wasting ink. So what's the plan?
each pen is,
Every line. Oh.
you know.
Are you doing like one little line?
Okay.
We're doing
Wouldn't it make sense to
here, you can-
Or just ask?
no, that's very good. Just do
Like that?
We're doing this.
Yeah, I see what
Experimentally designed. There's no set way to do it.
How many groups do you need?
You do this, done that. This. Right. Oh, sorry. Either way, for someone else.
Or should we do one on each line? Yeah.
Tell me those lines are like spot on.
Control is the color.
How many colors are we using? Three.
Think about it. What's the plan?
different
Yeah.
color lines.
I don't know, it's just your experiment right now.
So what?
We're doing a bright line. And we're gonna she's coloring the middle.
Like that's the big one. Wouldn't it make sense to make it like a big line?
Yeah, like a super highway
Like,
for.
Wouldn't it make sense to have thick lines? They have more surface areas, like travel on.
It's your experiment.
But it's gonna make sense.
I understand what you're saying, yeah, that's fine.
Is this like supposed to be just a one line thing?
They would follow one line.
That's a hard.
So, say if you put them out, they're gonna start, if they follow, it's the way.
Between this line. Just have
Because they can distinctly see the color instead of on the bottom.
I've already told you though, you should see my YouTube channel.
I was gonna do like
Yeah, you and my friends did it. You got really bored with it.
How far they went on
Bro,
the.
that's fine. We called it.
I don't know.
So our channel is called.
Oh yeah, that's fine.
We are gonna find out.
It could still be
So
considered.
whatever it is, something like reverse, it's just like those stupid things in reverse.
It's up to you.
Like these other ones,
But-
yeah, like doing Disney sports, like we all did like quiz. Yeah,
Oh, hi.
we got some shows on
There you go.
So we started doing some shit.
If you wanna get more paper, put them on separate paper, you can do that too. So what is your income variable?
Yeah.
The colors, what's your deep name?
Okay, like,
Okay, alright, so you're comfortable with your bill? You mean, doesn't matter, I can put your. It's just a little bit
Yeah, I know, but you have to dump it.
when you're the, will be controlled by the.
this restarts.
White, and your house, and see how you respond, right?
No, it's like,
Good.
you like that picture.
It's not really go.
Yeah, I mean, if you're trying to make a choice thing,
Hey, he
you
likes
probably
the
all
lines.
three like close together, right? Or if you're,
So you're going, they
if you put it on one,
He likes
and
the
doesn't
lines.
like that color, it won't stay on the color, it'll just walk off. I'll try, but you gotta keep track of time though, because you're gonna have.
No, you're fine.
So should we test each one?
Oh, shit.
Do you like the lines? No! Why do they like lines? He's like saying perfectly on the line. That is one determined.
now, yeah. Ooh.
I did it kind of like that.
I think he's done.
So you gotta determine whether is that just random walking, or is that.
That's almost kind of cool.
This is so color.
Mr. Bart.
So, what's your control?
Is that what he's supposed to do though?
I don't know.
That's kind of sick.
So I get another wave it.
I like how it likes the line.
That's like big.
Most people like, this one likes lines.
Just like leaping to go over.
Dude, test it with another turbine on the blue line.
The termite shop.
Why were you supposed to do it when I
Exactly what you're supposed to do.
I'm gonna, I think I bring this one. I got it.
Yeah.
So
How long?
Let go or how far?
Dude, what is he?
How far they go on the line?
Wait, Wait, how could it be? Why should it be? I just
They show they're supposed to travel.
Because that would be natural, nothing there. Because if you put on clean white paper and they're all
That's nice for camera. That's nice.
Yeah.
Right up the back.
The first one is undecided.
Yeah, you can sketch off the back, it's fine.
Here, let me get Brayleigh. This is determined. He's determined.
You got her?
He likes biology.
So what was your control?
You gotta, he just doesn't move from that line.
Amazing. Is this like a motion control?
Control group is the,
And then they should put constant.
Black is your control? Experiment.
I still vote. Oh, yeah,
the attributed variable. The line is, I don't know,
Okay, so.
the dependent variable, the dependent variable is like how long you will travel. Dependent variable, that's the dependent. How long you will travel on the line. The independent variable is the line, the way the line will remain.
This one does. I don't know.
He doesn't like green or blue.
The constants of
Coloring? So, if you have different color teams, they can't be drawn.
We have 3.
Species determined.
Where is it?
You talk about same light, air pressure, temperature. So, what was your control group?
This one.
Control is the white paper.
Why is it the control?
He said, nope, I don't want to
Well,
go.
I'm in the blue.
Remember, you need to have control group, experimental group. So what would be your control group?
I don't want to. Stop him at like 11.
So you have different thicknesses of line?
Wait, what are the circles? All
Why would you have different thicknesses of line?
because the hypothesis is that they're attracted
Why is it? But why is that applied? What is your independent variable?
But I'm using this
Okay, so for most experiments, you want one independent variable. So if you're changing thickness of lines, then it's not just the color of the line anymore, is it? So the thickness should probably be the same, unless you're gonna do, basically you'd be doing a whole, they're doing 2 different experiments at once. Which can be done, right, Jessica? You can have 2 independent variables. And that'd be your, okay, that's fine. That's fine.
You don't like blue.
Did you read?
He's great on the radio. Stop putting him at an angle.
So I don't see those guys doing a whole lot as far as filing, right? So what do you generate for numbers?
Does not like she followed 8 ones.
But how many times did you try?
You do it, bro. Do it.
Come on, buddy.
You probably want to do it at least in,
Like try.
did you do 3 different termites, or the same termite 3
We
times?
did it
or-
like the same termite 3 times, and then
Okay.
we added an next like and I was gonna see if that would affect.
Really?
Okay, so in your data table, you should have some numbers then, right?
I just told you, 3 times there, 8 times.
Okay,
Then
well-
my glue, okay, glue into purple, then when we got the extra 2,
Do you have your data table?
all of them?
Why not? Oh, yeah. Guys, each person should have the data table on the back. Each person should have a description. So what we have going on
You can
here.
do however many sorry, one, which is like how many experiments,
We haven't started yet.
they got
We tried one, he couldn't decide. Like he was like just stuck between
green, red, blue, and then put centimeters.
like he started going green, then he got towards blue, followed me for a little bit, then he started going in circles. 14.
So, and then I've got them like in
So
different
it's
spots, so I guess so. With the red, yeah. So you tried one term. So try another one.
Try one in.
So is that kind of
Well, what would be a good control? Because basically, it's gonna be a choices would be 3 experimental.
like this one,
You have black as a control. What if you just had like plain white
I'll put it in.
and see what their
Yeah, just so they do
that line at all?
And then on the green, that's the green.
yeah.
How many centimeters you travel, we would put right there.
I would say that's probably not a good idea. Just do the reading on the.
And then,
Like, I want to tell you.
I feel like I should have done the tab, the table as like termite and then colors, and then roll how many times it went through.
Right, this is just like an example, not really green.
We do like one over here.
We do like, say this is termite 1 on the green line.
Right here.
And then do the green.
Back to you. I think we might need to do.
I lost it. Sorry.
Okay, so when we draw like one
I'll push them on the line. It's not really anything.
But we're trying to get them on the
Just try to tap it down. Who good?
then after that, and then that's when we put the other.
Instead of distance travel, could it be like time? The first one.
He's going up the blue line.
No way.
How are we drawing this out?
Just kidding. He stopped here.
What was your control? And what happened to control?
We didn't make it. No, we didn't make a data table. And
Did what? Did
the
test
data table should have 3 columns.
You might want to do that.
Say they went, like the time that they went past.
How many termites are
I mean, it's either or.
Wait, this is
But
the control. He's just going around.
Or do you want to do 2?
Or trials would be like.
We had this super. Oh wait, no, child.
So like, wait, so turn around.
what's the minimum? What would be the easy answer?
Times easier, right?
What's the number that I gave you that you didn't want to have?
You killed him.
No, I didn't, I just,
Times.
How many termites do you want to do?
No, it's not.
2 here, 2
How many
here, 2
specimens do
here.
you have?
So there's going to be
Yes, he's a murderer.
8.
30. So you want to run.
Okay, so we had 4 or 5.
That
means
That's like
what other
minimum.
color should we see?
So it's the minimum.
Go.
Well, he's on the line, you shuffle the papers.
Just,
Actually, we should do it at like individuals.
It just goes in the middle.
oh, so, okay. So what is the
On January, like how long? January 11th. And this little one,
How many tries?
he was around 102. He was like research. Yeah.
So what are we measuring? So who's measuring now then, or? Oh, so you're saying you're just going through like, what's been pretty much established, she's following.
Or just tell me like the numbers already.
All right, doing all day.
There we
Is this
He's following me to one black.
10 seconds?
Yeah, he left.
Yeah.
Alright, I think it's okay.
Start going different speed.
Just do it.
One
Killed
all
it?
the way over.
I got like
We have a winner.
11. Already went all the way up.
Oh, technically.
Sorry, no. Okay, so 11.
My favorite color.
How many did we do?
Two in our name colors.
Round 2.
We're doing it 8 times.
I thought it was a master. Yeah.
Just cut like a major chord.
Well, he's.
What, Eva, what are your constants?
Surprise curiosity, it's very common.
If you guys like to go back for freaked out.
So the degree 3 column, for the top one, I'm gonna put termite.
Colors are the same?
How do we make this data table, John?
What's your independent variable?
Top part, we're gonna put.
So how can colors be your constants if it's your independent variable?
Could you say the, like the light is challenge?
Lighting,
The light is temperature.
temperature,
You can say the duration of the,
okay,
time.
Where, what did you?
okay.
Is he alive?
No, go push out.
Same species of term.
He's alive.
Maybe it just doesn't want to move.
But the colors, you said the colors are your independent variable, right? You're testing to see whether one, which color. I see what you're saying, you could say I have the same color schematic set out each time. But if your colors are your, what you're testing, it's not a constant,
He's like, wait, I already went.
right?
Yeah.
Because if you do that in the test, they're probably not gonna give you a mark for that, unless you explain it really, really well. So it's best to avoid that, don't use your independent variable as a constant.
Termite too.
Okay, you're gonna squish it.
Really? So he went test one, blue, and blue.
Just kind of like write down my data table, like descriptions of what happened.
Yeah, I have extras,
She's been bullying you.
bullying you, really?
Because I just ended.
So we're gonna,
Yeah.
I guess how long it takes.
Did
you start them, like,
and I guess I got a little aggressive. I forgot
They're
how
very
fragile
sensitive,
it is.
they're very sensitive, they need to squish
And
that.
I just. That would have been
Yeah. So how many termites have you done?
Too much.
Okay, if you had unlimited time, how many would you wanna do?
more like 35 plus 10.
So if they don't go to any, if you just walking around like randomly, what,
But then eventually they go at once. Like sometimes people like take some.
eventually they will go to wolf.
Yeah, because like they will start out a color and then like.
And they'll follow it right down the line.
Yeah. That's kind of like halfway down the line. But that's like not all of them have been doing, so we're not doing it by all. But they stay around. Yeah. Or each.
So you're making sure you get results, right? Whether it's really results or not, you're getting results.
You're like, girl, you want.
Keep finally. Finish line. No.
Okay, well,
I know.
is that like how much you gave? I just kind of like described it.
No, that was fine.
It's not right, you should have something numerical, it's quantitative, right?
I don't see any comment.
Okay.
And then we can kind of find out and follow the like
Or color, which color?
So Kevin, what are your constants?
Constants.
Do we even have any?
Like the colors.
This one's at black too.
You have one.
Find a line.
This one's top.
What's your independent variable?
Okay.
Probably
The colors.
okay, so if your colors are your independent variable, how can they be your constant?
Oh.
Now, I know what you're saying about I have a three-color scheme that I'm using for but it's best to avoid, because really, usually, you can't use your independent variable as a constant.
Alright,
I know what you're saying, you should spend more time for that. So what are some other things that are obvious things that should or be constant? Yes. White, pink,
The shape of the track.
So we're gonna do a minute for
The size.
Ready?
The size of the
size of. Okay, it's kind of,
Hey, make it.
Where is that?
so it's the same species of termite, same lighting, same temperature, remember all the abiotic factors? All those things, all the air pressure, any of
Looks like yellow.
So like the control is really just to see if they have any bias over like left or right.
well, you need to have a control. So if you notice they put them down, they all go to the right and then it goes straight. Well, that means probably.
Some like we're missing. And there's just.
I'm sure David.
If he's not
Like different jobs with like part 1, part 2, part 3.
Should we put this like in there?
Like this is one way to do.
That's
You guys are like there 3 times in here.
Is that what
So 5%. Ready? I will live black set.
It's like I already did my.
So we have 4 and 5 lines. That's dead.
I didn't, you know, this is hard because we can go to he was on there for like 8 seconds. He was on for like 2 seconds.
Oh, wait.
Okay, so turn on to 8 seconds. Yeah, but just
They are particularly smart, to be honest. So,
Following along. Yeah. They are all
ready? My 3.
I guess that's.
use your phone for the timer. So he's only doing it when I come over.
I think it's yeah, I think
Nothing works until a teacher comes over.
At this,
The way they go.
yeah, 8 tallies for each.
So, did he follow the other lines, or just because
It's the darkest.
you try it on black?
Sorry. 4 is blue.
I keep forgetting you have test 2.
This one's a minute too.
Go get your line.
It's coming back.
No, look at your lines. So you put them in the circle, right?
Alright, ready? Red. Set.
The blue one's almost touching the circle. So could that affect your results? Maybe you could place them on each line and then see if we follow. That would constantly give it a chance to start on each one.
If he's confused, you should put what he measured. Alright, so you have second on blue, second on black.
Okay, ready?
For Mike, Don't overthink it because it's just very straightforward. Where's your?
Okay, so he's on Okay, ready? Set.
Wait.
Go.
What are your comments?
See if I switch across.
On
That's what it's like.
Oh, we start at the same.
If I'm gonna interview, I'm not going to.
24 seconds. For my warnings, yeah. Well,
But that's what you measure, but what, remember, constants, things that are gonna be kept the same.
same length. How many do we have in here?
What are some obvious things?
Yeah, I'm putting the ones that I like on their back.
Well, about 8 balance. Same lighting, right? Same temperature, same air pressure, same everything, all those things. But then you're talking about same like live layout sort of. You're like in that.
It's like that's the end of the line.
Mr. Barnes, like.
Yeah, I'm gonna write the
Ready?
That way you can like,
Yeah.
okay. Well, no. But like, so.
Yeah. 10? Okay, 10 seconds. Okay, ready?
Bro.
Yeah, he's on the down.
Yeah.
Take a look at it, see if you switch it off. So just swap out the.
Okay. 7 seconds. Yeah.
Second try.
Alright, we're done. Yeah, no.
He's tired
How's it all different?
Why don't we go like
We messed up the green line.
Yeah, so he'll go in circles.
But for the white, we messed up the face.
Is it about right?
There's no like right or wrong. It's our experience.
What's the white?
Don't.
The white, that's the control. I heard that for 7th grade.
Alright, stop it.
Yes.
Okay, so it's
How long it stays inside that line?
Yeah.
Okay, so if it stays inside the line, the white line, more than these, what would that tell you?
But then you clear. 6 wasn't good.
Okay, we're getting on this.
That means the color should be no beneficial effect at all.
Right?
I'm gonna write the conclusion. The termites. What kinds of patterns going on over there? Black.
No, like, so
Yeah.
360.
Factory one and that one.
The termites in the black line.
On the black line.
Range.
Really? You want to apply that. The second black line. No, but I mean, like, do we need to show it on the screen?
What's the third one?
Okay, so the green one now, or no, where's the green one is 45. Because technically, it was like.
I think I'm an average here. The black, the termites in the black line is average. At 8 distance.
I guess so, what did you? So you'd say this guy's random movement, I guess?
Oh, there he goes. He's taking his own path.
Run data for another 5 minutes or so, and then I'm gonna let you talk to other groups and see what they came up with. Oh, they've done all like 30 almost already.
Well, we had 8 trials, gosh.
And what are you finding so far?
What is red?
They don't really like blue. They don't like the leaves. Like
So
termite
what,
2.
which one is the preference for you?
Ready?
When you're
Yeah, one like purple, and then second would be like green. That one looks like all big. But they really like, they don't like yellow as much, they don't like pink as much. And only termite 6 went on blue 5.
What are you guys finding for preference?
But the black one went on 5, 6, 7. The line has no preference. Only 3. The color blind starts in total. The color blind has more had 2. So I had,
Does God be like?
started at like different colors, whereas green.
Termite 6 had black 6 times.
The second one.
That's what I'm saying.
This is the first one.
Or no, like 5.
Wait, it's just that one, right?
This one? This one's in it.
Watch it.
I mean, I don't have to.
Yes.
That one's older. He looks like he's going across. Hey,
Okay, so for red it was 13.
They didn't like red?
Why is that button?
We're just gonna stop at 5 because we're gonna go to the
So would it support the hypothesis or no?
So just flip.
Either it would support, partially support, or refute
This
this.
guy is.
I had
Alright, think about that.
So what did he choose for the first one?
But you know, because when you go 5, I think I was slapped it.
Talk in a minute, everybody.
There you go.
Okay. So if it's nobody.
How are we doing?
Wait, you guys
I actually did They like the blue one.
The third red put.
So who's okay,
Let's just eliminate that one.
What do you guys got?
Yeah, when they're in the white, it doesn't matter what color. But when they're in the color, they don't move at all, like they just stay there. But they move in the blue.
Yeah, except some of them don't.
So is your data supporting the hypothesis?
Alright, keep that. What if he turns back? Alright, he's doing it.
Let's go college now. Like 3-4 more minutes. Okay, what I would like to have you do is have someone from your group go out and talk to the other groups to try and see if they're getting similar results or different results.
Oh, no.
So send a messenger out, see what other people are getting. Send a messenger out to see what other people are getting. Send a messenger out. The blue is the University of Florida, and yeah, University of Miami, University of Florida. Okay, send someone out, find out what people are getting. Who's your messenger?
Do you want to do it or not? I mean, I could pause it.
Who's your messenger? You got 4 minutes, find out what other groups are doing.
What was your guys' result? What is? Oh, she has it.
Wait, Mr. Bart, do you want us to collect the data?
What?
Do you want us to like just look at it and compare it?
Just get like general trends. Were they finding a particular color? Who's your messenger over here? Justin, who's your
We
messenger?
did 6 to 12 each.
Find out if other groups are getting similar results or not.
So yeah, we had.
But it's like seriously, like, were you timing it or were you doing like this?
What do I do? You only did, how many times did you do?
In 2 minutes, I'm gonna have you put your termites back,
We have
but we're done generating data in 2 minutes. I guess we won't use him for next year.
Look at him, he's still moving.
For a little bit.
There's only one. Oh, there's one.
Okay, so we got like how many like the trials? Not really, like they taste like yeah,
Remember the last one for that?
which one I hated that. I thought you put it in the garden. In the garden.
Yeah, 1 minute.
So, we did
1 minute.
3 separate tests, 3 separate colors, and we put like basically 1 colors in every spot each. Then we put a termite in the middle, the termite gets to choose which patch it goes to.
It's circled a lot,
Does that make sense?
but on these two, they didn't stay that long, but on this one, they stayed the longest.
Are you guys in Ogden?
But they didn't move. But like, just chilled.
What do you guys?
In the white, they moved, in the red and green, they didn't move.
Let's put our termites back into the container. Bring all your materials up to the front, and then go back and have a seat. Let's get that done in less than 2 minutes.
Can I put the basket?
No, and then we'll go through. So,
What's that do?
Just kill that.
You guys have to get the table for that, because you guys didn't do it, but.
I mean, our quantitative data.
Someone has to do it up there.
That's not, that's cheap, Mr. Bart. Jessica has brought something to my attention, and I think it's pretty smart. Since we're all mammals. We're all mammals, right?
right.
Animals.
No. Remember Kingdom Animalia?
Oh, yeah, yours doesn't make sense.
So, if you're going backwards, it wouldn't, I'm not sure how you're.
It makes any sense at first. Is it reptiles that, like, if they could, like, go back?
I'm not aware of that. Tails sometimes, but legs is not usually. Some salamanders do. Salamanders are amazing animals.
They're really ugly.
All right. Solomon, have a seat. Jeremy, have a seat. So, how many groups, by show of hands, would say your data supported the hypothesis given that the termites prefer blue? So, here's a thing that I saw a lot of you messed up. Didn't quite get it. Remember we had this little thing here? Constants. How many groups are confident that you kept a tight control on your constants? Yeah?
Yeah.
Well, I saw, remember we have these pens, right? Are the pens all the same?
No.
Did you use the same kind of pen? Because we have big pens, we have Sharpies, we have highlighters, we have gel pens, color pencils, we have all kinds of things. So how many groups had different colors and they were all the same kind of pen? But what kind of pen did you have? You had the highlighters. You had all the same,
Yeah.
but they were highlighters.
Yeah.
Okay, that's why your results didn't make sense. If you did the reading, what did it say that the termites prefer for the trails? In the reading, it told you that termites follow pheromones. A pheromone is a chemical scent. They can't see very well at all, if at all. But they're following scent trails. So here's the thing. Sharpies, can't smell it. Highlighters, can't smell it. If you had a gel pen, can't smell it. If you had one of the Papermates or the Bic pens, it didn't matter what color it was, those pens, they would smell the odor of the ink and they would follow that trail. So that's why for some of you, let's say you use the Bic pen, let's say for black, and they followed it. But then the other colors, you had a Sharpie or a highlighter, they didn't follow it. That's why. So it wasn't the color, it was what kind of ink there was. Now, sometimes there's an idea that you have to get data to support the hypothesis or it's not good science. So some of you trying to fudge your numbers, oh yeah, we got it, they were following this. Sure, they weren't following anything. It was just random walking around. Because if all you had was highlighters, they're not following a highlighter scent. Okay? that would be, well, the constant would be that you use the same type of beam. So what I'm giving you time to do now, you can finish up your data table. When you do your conclusion, think about what we talked about. On the front side, for the ACE component, you're not going to write about the data because all you're going to put down is how you would set up the experiment. Okay? But keep in mind, what I'm looking for, 7 things. Control group, and that was kind of hard, wasn't it? Getting a control group, you're like, well, what do I use? So some ideas were, if you use like a black line, that's your control, and the colors are going to be experimental groups. Or better yet would be if you had just plain white paper and see what kind of movements they do. So you have your control group, your experimental group or groups, your independent variable, your dependent variable, your constants, how many trials or specimens you're using, then some other factor like repeating it or how long you're running it for or something to that effect. So make sure you have all those things on that front side. Put that in blue or black ink, just like if you're writing an ACE answer on a test, Isabella. Put that on ink, and then that'll be due, let's work on it between now and the end of the period. Okay?